There are hungers that live in the body, and there are hungers that come from somewhere else. Erysichthon was a man who believed the world existed to be taken, not borrowed, not respected, taken. He was a king, powerful, feared, and above all, entitled. To him, the earth was nothing more than a storehouse waiting to be emptied at his command. Forests were timber, rivers were tools, and even the sacred meant nothing. There was, deep within his land, a grove unlike any other, ancient, silent, untouched by time. The trees there were enormous, trunks wide as temples, branches that swallowed the sky. But it was not their size that made them sacred. It was who they belonged to. The grove was devoted to Demeter, goddess of the harvest, the giver of grain, the quiet force that fed the world. Every leaf, every root, every whisper of wind in that place was hers. No one entered without reverence. No one cut without permission. No one dared disturb it. No one, except Erysichthon. He stood at the edge of the grove one morning, looking not with awe, but with calculation. The wood was perfect, rare, valuable. He could build something grand from it, something that would outlive him. The warnings came quickly. Servants hesitated. Villagers pleaded. Even his own men lowered their eyes, uneasy. "My king," one of them said carefully, "this place is not ours to take." Erysichthon didn't even turn. "Everything," he said coldly, "is mine to take." And with that, he stepped into the grove. The air changed the moment he crossed the threshold. The warmth faded. The sounds of the world seemed to retreat. But he didn't notice, or worse, he didn't care. He found the largest tree at the heart of the grove, its bark thick, its roots deep, its presence almost watching. For a moment, there was stillness. Then he raised his axe. The first strike echoed like something breaking that should never be broken. The tree bled. Not sap, blood, dark, thick, alive. His men stumbled back in horror. The ground itself seemed to recoil. And then a voice, not loud, not angry, but ancient. "Stop." It came from everywhere at once, from the leaves, the wind, the earth beneath his feet. Even then, Erysichthon didn't lower the axe. "You have been warned," the voice continued. "This grove is not yours." He laughed, a short, dismissive sound. "Then let your goddess come and stop me." And he struck again. That was the moment everything ended. Far from the grove, where the fields stretched golden under the sun, Demeter felt it, the wound, the violation, not just of her land, but of the balance she kept. She did not storm, she did not rage. Her punishment would be far more precise. She summoned something older than anger, hunger. Not the kind that gnaws gently at the stomach, not the kind that waits patiently for bread. This was hunger as a force, a presence, an emptiness that could never be filled. It crept into Erysichthon quietly. No thunder, no warning. At first it felt ordinary, a simple craving. After the grove fell, he returned to his palace and called for food. A feast, lavish, excessive, worthy of a king. He ate and ate. Plates emptied, bowls scraped clean, wine vanished from cup after cup. But the hunger didn't move, it didn't fade. It didn't even soften. If anything, it deepened. He frowned, confused. More, he demanded. More was brought. He devoured it faster this time. Less care, less dignity. Still, nothing. The hollow inside him only widened. Hours passed, then days. The palace kitchens burned day and night. Animals were slaughtered endlessly. Grain stores were emptied. He consumed everything, and still, he starved. The hunger began to change him. His eyes grew wild. His hands trembled between meals, if they could still be called meals. He stopped speaking in full sentences, stopped thinking beyond the next bite. Food was no longer pleasure. It was desperation, a battle he kept losing. His wealth began to disappear. Gold turned into bread, jewels into meat. Everything he owned fed the void inside him. But the void only grew larger. Soon, the palace itself began to empty. Furniture sold, servants dismissed. There was nothing left to trade, nothing left to eat, except one last thing. His daughter. He sold her, not out of cruelty, not even out of thought, but because the hunger demanded it. Again and again, she was sold, and somehow found her way back, only to be sold again. Even that wasn't enough. Nothing was ever enough. Erysichthon became a shadow of himself, skin stretched tight over bone, eyes sunken, burning with a need that had no end. He wandered now. No palace, no throne, just hunger, endless, unrelenting. And then came the final truth. The thing Demeter had always intended. When there was nothing left in the world to consume, the hunger remained, still screaming, still empty, still demanding. And so at last, Erysichthon turned inward. If the world could not fill him, he would. Piece by piece, he fed the only thing he had left, himself. And even then, it wasn't enough, because some hungers are not meant to be satisfied. They are meant to consume. And in the end, that is exactly what they do.